How do big ideas come to fruition?
Eiffel Tower, the Great Pyramids, these are gateways. They become iconic in a way and contribute to people's feelings in their neighborhood and identities.
People have an expectation that the people responsible for the change in their community are the elected officials who represent their constituents. You need business owners, business leaders to also be active in their community, advocating for certain things that address sustainability and resiliency.
My name is Trevor Abramson. I am the founder of Abramson Architects. One thing about being an architect is the ability to do buildings that have a place in the city and seeing people interact with them, living in them, using them. That's what inspires me to be an architect. The idea for the bridge was brewing for a long time. I've been a cyclist for years and years, ride along the beach path south, and then you would hit the Marina Del Rey and you cannot go past it if you want to keep going south. And it just struck me that a solution could be a bridge over the mouth of the marina. But I had an epiphany when I realized that this bridge could be more than just a bridge. It could be an icon for LA.
You know, Trevor came and said, you know, there's this part at the marina. I'm very familiar with that, you know, just what if we build a bridge for it? Just, you know, okay.
I really wanted you to be able to stay on your bicycle and get to the other end. But we had an immense problem to solve. We have a 1,000-foot span, and we have a waterway that has to have tall sailboats sail under it with a 100-foot mast.
You know, as architects, you want to contribute to the bigger part of the society in a way. Something that gave back more than just getting A to B. And so I always consider the bridge, it's not A to B, it's A to Z. One side being A, one side being Z. And along the way, you know, you're spiraling along this ramp and you're getting this view that you really can't get anywhere else in LA.
The biggest challenge in moving forward has been, you know, how to get this idea to the rest of the world.
So the event was important. It was called Biking in LA, Bridging the Gap, and it was about the gap between not just the north and south of the Marvin Braude Bike Trail, but about the gap between what we've designed and what the community needs. And we really wanted to bring in the community to show off this beautiful and elegant and functional bridge.
One of the things that I noticed was that the audience was listening attentively. And you know, sometimes with events, you've got people on their phones, they're distracted. But what I saw as the moderator, because I like to scan the audience, was people were really listening and people were really interested in what we had to say. I think one of the reasons it went really well was we asked a few controversial questions and we got viewpoints from different sides of the spectrum. And I think that's important in shaping a conversation because sometimes if you start in the middle, you don't necessarily get the best solutions.
As a recent transplant to Los Angeles, I am both inspired and motivated to see the city become something greater. And I'm excited for events like this one that are helping push Los Angeles in a direction that I want it to go.
Since the biking event, the conversation about the bridge has really begun.
It really addresses the idea of connectivity, and it's kind of interesting, even when you think about the concept of that divide. A bridge bridges the divide and it brings people together. I mean, interestingly enough, in a community, sometimes people will gauge where they live in relation to those gaps. Do you live on the other side of the tracks? Do you live on the other side of the creek?
You know, you can bring your family here and you can just spend hours gazing into the ocean and the city, and I think, you know, it would be a spectacular place to be.